Welcome to the weekly roundtable, SILive.com, high school football preview. We got some big games this week. We're going to start off with the only all-island game of the week, Curtis, Tottenville, big PSL matchup.
Always a big game, the North Shore, South Shore type thing. And, of course, this year, as the fifth year in a row, the Lieutenant Nick Leah, Captain John Drennan game, which gives it a little bit more spice. But I think it's going to be a very good game. The Warriors are trying to, I think, break a 4-game losing streak against Tottenville. But they showed what they could do. I know Coach Gambardella talked extensively after they lost to Erasmus about how they got to follow through and finish. And when they do, they'll be right there to win games. And obviously they did it against Port Richmond last week.
Yeah, they got the offense going a little bit. I'm really curious about the matchup between the Curtis defense, Tottenville offense. Pirates have a lot of weapons. Curtis with a bang-up job last week. They did not allow Port Richmond to complete a pass. They're great in the secondary, good pass rush. We'll see what happens there. Let's move over to the Catholic League a little bit. St. Peter's going to the Mount. Last year the Mount came to St. Peter's. Charlie, what happened that day?
St. Peter's was a AA semifinal game at St. Peter's. They played almost a flawless first half. Willie Dale had probably half of his 10 catches. He had a couple of touchdowns, and they were dominant. Unfortunately, they couldn't follow through and finish it in the second half. They had a costly safety that ultimately killed them. But I think they're going to use that loss last year as a revenge factor going up to the Mount this year.
Yeah, they're definitely fired up for this one. And something real interesting, they added a whole new offense, St. Peter's did. They run their spread. They added a power running package, because they didn't like the way they couldn't hold on to the lead. And it's been very effective for them so far.
Well, that's the most remarkable thing, is that not only you tinker a little bit with what you do, but they've also been dominant doing it.
Sure.
So I mean, when you throw in that their air game, passing the ball, that St. Peter's is going to be tough.
One more in the Catholic League, Holy Trinity and Farrell. Farrell coming off a real big win against Chaminade last week.
Farrell played a great game, pulled it out at the end against Chaminade last week. I heard Coach Bradley talking to the team after the game, and the one thing he emphasized was, said, let's enjoy this for a day, but we've lost to Holy Trinity twice in the last 2 years, so they have a little bit of incentive too. They're looking to beat the Titans. The one thing is, they played well enough to beat Chaminade. They had, I think, 13 penalties in the game. I think they could play better, and if they do, hey, we'll see what happens. They might be able to maybe knock them around.
Yeah, Farrell's turned into a real fun team to watch. Real nice passing game. Steven Villegas had a huge rushing game last week. And the offense looked pretty good against St. Anthony's and lost the week before. Let's see if Farrell really has something to work on this year. A lot of good games this weekend. We'll be at them. Hope to see you there. Thanks.